thing, is it? Let's wait. I'll see it going in a sec.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo, Flips, what's up? It's good to see you all. Thank you all for joining for this evening's show. It's good to see you all. We have a special guest with us, Neil Constantino. What's up, Neil?
Oh,
Yeah,
now I know who he is.
haven't seen Neil in a long time. It's good to see him here. Glad he's okay and he's not whacked, as he says.
Yeah,
I've spoken to you in the text chat plenty of times, bro.
Nice. Yeah, it's good to see Neil on his later as well.
So you didn't go to space or anything, Neil?
No.
I'm still here. I'm grounded.
Grounded. Cool.
Well, that's good to see you. Thank you for joining, man. And then obviously we got PJ Cruikshank, Ryan S, and Dislord in the house. I hope you guys are all doing well.
Oh yeah.
That's good.
Good
That's
to see
good.
all of you. Good to see all of you.
Okay, so the show is the part 2 of the debate. Tonight we're saying Felicia's riding the unicorn. From now on, FTFE is going to be called Felicia, people. So anyway, unicorns.
Yeah, we thought of a better name, but you couldn't say it on.
Yeah, unicorns have more validity than the globe Earth. What? Oh, sorry guys, I went out by accident. Let's see if I can log in again. If it would load sometime. There we go. Whoops, sorry guys, I pressed the wrong button.
Yeah, but not right from the beginning. Nathan had a show before that happened. This we didn't have a show.
Yeah, that's true.
Welcome back.
Yeah, sorry guys, I pressed
Okay,
the wrong
we're back.
button. Anyway,
We're back.
13 votes already.
Wow.
Unicorns have more
Yeah.
validity than the globe Earth. 77% say
That's
yes.
Hey,
Yeah,
but what
you-
this tells you is
Oh.
everybody's got to exchange numbers because if they do one of them, what do they call it, EMP things?
Yeah,
What's that called when they black everything out?
yeah, they're not
How are
gonna
we
be.
touching each other?
Yeah, pigeons. Smoke signals.
You dropped out for a bit. What happened?
No, I pressed the wrong button by accident. Sorry, guys.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
got you.
Ah,
That happens.
But as I
I
was
do it
saying,
all the time.
as I was saying for the third time now, 15 votes, guys.
The stream kept having a blur on it. It was blurry. The
Yeah,
stream.
I know. That's why I clicked. It went blurry when I clicked on the YouTube chat.
I thought it was me, so I
See, as
dropped
soon as
out. I thought, it's happening now again.
Yeah, as soon as I click
There
on the
goes.
YouTube chat, it does that.
Why is it doing
Really
it?
Oh,
weird.
wait.
Anyway, 18 votes,
Oh, is it?
guys. 18 votes. Unicorns
Ah.
have more validity
18
than the
votes.
globe Earth. 78% say yes. 22% say no. Ooh.
What?
So, yeah, it's going to go blurry every time I click on chat, unfortunately. So I'm just going to say hi to everybody in chat. PJ, what is it? Victoria, good to see you. Gordon the Gopher, good to see you. One Man, One Spirit, what's up? Brian Stavely, yo, man, good to see you. Always happy to have you in. Expedition Truth, hello, glad to have you in. Norman Cross, good to see you. Jeff Gashead, what's up, man? Sovereign Soul, hello. I called him Felicia on my show last night. Let's get this training. I agree. We should call him Felicia from now on. RH, what's up? Duper Poons, hello. 3CPO, good to see you. Jeff Conkle, what's up, man? So yeah, I agree. We should call him from now on Felicia. and
Oh,
see
now
how
it's
it
not
goes.
blurry.
Yeah, if I
Definitely.
click back on the
Wait a minute. Bill Baboons, what are you doing here, dude?
he can be, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
Probably-
you're welcome.
He
You're
probably,
forgiven.
yeah. He just wants to fish, that's all.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Okay, so
I'm on the computer.
I'm at. Brian says he's at lunch. Well, it's good to see you. Thank you for coming during your lunchtime. RH, what's up, man? Okay, are you guys ready to start the show on part number 2? Obviously, we're going to start at 40 minutes, as we said we ended last time. Neil, did you hear the first part of this debate between Felicia and Kaleb? Guess not. Okay. We'll carry on with this.
We must be having problems with mic or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow, something's going on.
Okay, but let's just this is part 2, guys. If you haven't watched part 1, please go and watch part 1. It is linked in the description. And also, please hit the likes and share the show, as it really, really does help to get the show out to a wider audience. Paul, good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming. Unicorns are in the Bible.
What? Yeah,
Under
but
the mythical
unicorns in the
creatures.
Bible's talking about a rhinoceros, not about a mythical creature. Come on.
There's a lot of
What is that?
behemoths. There's behemoths and everything in the Bible.
Behemoth, Leviathan. It says
There's
large
a
beast.
dragon.
Yeah, a dragon. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, large beast. Behemoth. Yeah, there's a few words for it. I had a whoop.
An actual unicorn in the Bible, or is that just that can't be real?
Unicorns are real, man.
Well, it
But if
does
it
say it
was-
in
you just
there,
think-
but
you
I
just
don't
think
think
a
that it means a horse
If
with
it
a
was a
horn.
rhino, why
Don't.
wouldn't they just say a rhinoceros?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Because, I don't know.
10th man said that to me too. It means rhino. But if it was rhino, then I'm sure they would have said rhino.
I think we have.
That says unicorn.
I think we might have to look
What
at
does they say?
I think we might have to look at the etymology of the word,
Yeah, definitely.
because I haven't actually,
Yeah.
to be honest, I've never really looked at the root word meaning of the Hebrew word for
No.
it. It
Neither
could
have
just be
I.
it could just be a
Never tried it.
mistranslation.
Could just mean horned beast or haunt something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But what is the word?
I don't know. That's what I say. I haven't looked into it. We'll actually have to look into it sometime. Be quite
Jesus.
interesting.
Yeah.
I tell you who the word is. Jesus.
Amen.
No.
Liv, good to see you, man. Thank you for coming in. Don Logan, what's up, man? Okay, you guys ready
Hey,
to
Vicky.
start?
How you doing, Vicky?
Sure.
Yeah, the Sovereign Soul. This says there's 6 more mentions of the unicorn in the
Hi, Vicky.
Bible.
Demonstrate exactly what we have asked, expect. Not only that, but we can move to modern times and look at the LIGO experiments, which also match
No.
100 the predictions of the warping of space-time. Or
How
sorry,
much is the
I
fringe
like-
shift?
yeah.
How much is the fringe shift? How much is the fringe shift at LIGO?
Of what? Of the fringe shift in LIGO within the
Of
margin
the
of error.
lasers?
Yeah.
How much
within
is
the
it?
Within the
No,
margin of
no,
error.
that's not an answer. Can you give me like a size? Like, can you give me a measurement of how much the laser changes? How much?
I'm not sure the exact amount of.
Yeah, of course you wouldn't know, Craig. Felicia wouldn't know, guys, because Felicia just said stuff, Because
He
Felicia,
never has the answer.
Felicia exactly, because Felicia just reads off McToon's website and decides to spout that nonsense, and so obviously Felicia won't know what the hell's going on.
I thought Felicia wrote all that stuff.
It would. I wouldn't be surprised if in a second the guy asked him to prove, to prove something, and he to verify something and then he refers to McToon's website again, like he always does.
Well, that's wrong with McToon's in his ear. I mean, in Felicia's ear.
Yeah,
So,
we saw that a couple of times. Yeah, he's just sitting there giving him info, man.
And I called it. I'm just kidding.
Hey, Charlie Walsh, and good to see you too, Gleam. Thank you for coming.
that's
Yeah,
cool, babe.
I think Caleb's got a lot of potential with this debating. He's not bad. He's got a few things to work out here and there, but I mean, not bad at all. He's good start, and he's still young.
He got
Random
big balls already.
But I want to contact him, have a little conversation with him. I think it'll be quite a cool chat.
Yeah, it sure would. And it would be. It could even be fun if you and him, also to teach him a little and stuff. You and him against the FGE and one more. A double. Let's get it on.
We have to make it. We have to make it fair. Me and Kaleb versus all the anti-flat earthers.
Yeah, why not?
Because the thing is, they all say the same thing. So it doesn't really matter who we go against. They say the same thing. We already know what the arguments are.
Yeah. That's the worst part.
Yeah, Kaleb reminds me of when Wits had started. Definitely.
Yeah.
Before he got corrupted.
Yeah.
Before he got corrupted, you know what I mean? With
Yeah,
the nonsense stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. He did sound a little like that. Yeah. The way he was from his answers and that, it was
Corrupted?
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, what he was saying.
Guys, please do subscribe to 3CPO's Golden Calf channel. Really does some awesome videos as well on the Mandela effect and stuff, guys. Please do subscribe to him. Definitely well worth it.
but I remember it's within the margin of error of the machine.
So you don't know the amount that the fringe shift happens, but you just believe that it.
No. No, again, I don't believe anything. I've looked this up and researched this before.
Then why don't you know?
Because I don't have an eidetic memory. I don't remember every single thing I ever look at ever.
If you're going to provide it as evidence, you should probably remember it. Don't you agree?
I agree.
Well, no, because I've got the internet and I can just look it up. And
you see, that's the thing. His whole argument always is, oh, it's just in the fringe of error. Yeah, what was that error actually, Craig? This is the same when he brought up the...
His whole argument, you mean?
Yeah, it's the same when he brought up the spherical axis with surveying. He doesn't understand the calculations are based on ellipsoidal consideration. Someone's typing hectic.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, that's my bad. Damn.
Would you quit
Now
that?
the mic is good again. I thought I had clicked the mute.
Some things never change, huh?
Hey, Moxie, what's
Nope,
up?
hot mics are still around.
Yeah, it's a hot mics are a thing. And Jonah Edwards, good to see you, man. Thank you for coming.
shoot and get that information.
Yeah,
for
I pulled
you.
a bit. I pulled a good one the other day. I was hollering at my neighbor, cussing at him on the show. I was like, "Oh crap, sorry."
Eidetic memory and remembering every little detail of everything is irrelevant to a conversation like this. Just because you can spout off a bunch of stuff proves nothing. The evidence that can be presented is the important thing,
Hey, Gary,
not memorizing
you,
a list of things.
I'll give you your answer. It was the width of a proton.
Yeah, and has anybody actually seen a proton before?
Well, no.
No.
But I've seen a video where they try to show how you would see it, I guess. But no.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's the thing what they do.
They got some kind of high-speed camera.
Their evidence is always unverifiable evidence. It's always unverifiable for everybody else. So you just have to trust the data. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, all you get is a data sheet, apparently. You see, this 0.00000.10100001% of a incline change means we just found a gravity well. No, dude. It's crazy.
A gravity well.
Hold on, excuse me. What is gravity?
Exactly.
Has that been defined yet? How can we find these gravity wells? What's gravity?
Well, Felicia says gravity causes gravity.
It's a concept, dude. It's a concept.
Felicia thinks gravity causes gravity, Neil.
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, what's this? Rachel's a baller now?
Yeah, a full-blown... No, she's a full-blown anti-flat earther. Not just a normal glober, a full-blown anti-flat earther.
It's ridiculous, Neil, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's crazy.
Yeah, but you can see it coming, can't you?
Yeah, because to start off with, she was all messed up about Coriolis, and then it was
spectroscopy.
Then delta. I think she believed that what
accelerating Earth, yeah.
Now that brings me to my point. There's an old Italian saying. It's probably the same with everybody.
Yeah.
It says, "Show me who you have as your friends, and I'll show you who you are." Right? So she's hanging around them. So that's what she is.
Exactly.
That's what I said in our comments.
Exactly.
Comments. Crazy.
It's crazy. Oh yeah, guys, please subscribe to Kaleb's TikTok and to Brian Staveley's YouTube channel. Really, really awesome stuff. Hello, Ellen. Good to see you, man. And who else did I just see pop in? Truth Cherry Popper. Good to see you. Yeah, exactly, Neil. But even you said this before she supposedly came a Glober. Why is she always hanging out on the Globe channels? I mean, everybody was saying that. What's going on? But yeah. What I find very disturbing is literally what the anti-flat earthers do today is she does. That's it. There's just doesn't matter what you present, it's just I mean, look at the Coriolis thing. I showed Neil deGrasse Tyson making my point to the T. She sends out a video later saying Neil deGrasse Tyson debunks my argument while showing exactly it validating my argument.
Nah.
Just in other words. Yeah, it's crazy.
which was within the margin of error of the machine.
So how do we know that that laser moved because of the gravitational waves affecting it from black holes and not something like magnetism? How do we isolate gravity in that apparatus? How do we do that, Craig?
Again, we make a prediction. This is what we're doing here. We're predicting that.
Okay, Kaleb. First of all, he's kind of reversing the burden onto himself. He's giving himself a reverse burden there. I understand what he's trying to do to try and say, okay, how do you isolate your thing? But the thing you should be asking is, what is gravity, before you want to try and ask him to isolate it. But I understand where he's trying to come from.
Yeah, Lord knows he loves when people say that.
Mm-hmm.
We make a prediction. That means we make a prediction bullshit, you know. We make something up, and then if it doesn't fit it, you know, and if it fits it, and they just make up fake math and say, oh, it fits.
Yeah, that's what I don't get is they always say that. That's always their excuse. And it's like, how come that excuse is okay for you guys, but when we say, well, we saw it and it looks flat to us, then you're like, oh, that doesn't mean anything. It's like, what? Like, what kind of sense does that make?
Yeah, but I mean, think about it. If you take him down at the root, like, you don't have gravity, you don't even have to argue LIGO, because LIGO is what? LIGO's trying to validate what, you know, gravitational waves. But if you don't know what gravity is, how can you get gravitational waves? So you don't even have to worry about going down that path. You can just say, hello, first you have to prove gravity before you can prove gravitational waves. And unfortunately, Craig thinks science doesn't prove things, so he has no proof for science, for gravity.
If something happens, then we will be able to detect that this thing has happened.
Okay, so it'd be just as valid for me to say. It'd be just as valid for me to say that because electromagnetism is a form, light is a spectrum on the
Don't do that, Kaleb. Don't do that. You're literally reversing the burden onto yourself. You're giving yourself a noose. You're making a claim that he can start attacking. You shouldn't do that. I can already see it in his eyes, like, ooh, he's making a claim. You know what I mean?
Electromagnetic, you know, wavelength, right? It's essentially electromagnetic radiation.
You can lure him in by doing it.
Sorry? Say again?
I said, if you think about it, sometimes you can lure someone in by doing that. You can give them a false sense of security by luring them in with something where they think they're going to get you, but then you lead them somewhere else, and then they get all mad. That's what I was hoping he's going to do.
Yeah. But I think he's trying to, because he does definitely believe in electromagnetism, Kaleb. He's part of that crew, so he's trying to wiggle it away. Well,
yeah, me too.
So I understand where it's coming from, but also, like I said, that's a bit naive. He's still a bit young with the debating scene, so I think that's one thing he's got to work on. Is figure out, because he's reversing the burden onto himself. So he's giving himself a claim, and therefore Craig's able to take this claim and now reverse the burden onto him and keep him to, well, you say it's magnetism, so prove it. You understand, kind of thing.
Yep.
Instead of taking the actual argument, saying, okay, yeah, the argument was for gravity. Now he's just going to push the argument onto Kaleb's new claim and totally obfuscate from the original claim. Hey, Carl, good to see you. Debatable D, what's up?
Right? You would agree.
That's what light is, yes.
Okay, so how do we know it's not from the perturbation of the magnetic field that's coming from the Earth, changing and moving the light?
That's definitely what's it through
it
perturbation of it. I've heard him say that. Yeah. Hey,
what was that again?
How do you know it's not the perturbation of the magnetic field? It's like, okay. Yeah. How do you know How do you know it is that? Can you prove it?
He's done brilliantly up until this point. This is not. Don't like this bit.
Yeah, it's not very good.
I told you, Flats. He's collaborated with him before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's it going, Jeff? Good to see you, man.
Yeah.
On your lunch break.
All right.
Sneaked in there, yeah. You good?
All we need to do now is take the still shot and put a wig on there and call him Felicia.
Felicia.
How do we, if we can't decipher that it's gravitational waves or magnetism or electrostatics or some other phenomena of the ether causing the friendship, you cannot ad hocly assume that it's gravitational waves from black holes. Do you see the problem here? If we can just make predictions and say, oh shit, well, actually, the gravitational waves do this amount of friendship. And I could say, okay, well, actually, the difference in the magnetic field relative to the perturbation
really
source
like
would be different, causing this exact same friendship.
Well, see, that's the thing.
He's a shit 40.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's trying to push the ether, electromagnetic rubbish stuff in there. So this is like, I mean, the first show he did so good. He really did well. But now he's pushing this nonsense in here. I understand his argument he's trying to make, saying we can't prove it either way, so why make the claim? But I think he's going it in a total wrong way. Keep it
of
to
course,
Craig's
what's
claim.
Gravity? Sorry, Flatzoid.
No,
what's gravity? I'll counter it with ether. Oh, what the frick is ether?
Exactly.
Holy shit!
Yeah, instead of just he's literally taken he's taken his baton back to himself. He's given it to Craig and taken it back. He just literally had to keep it there by Craig and say, gravity, what gravity? Prove gravity before you make any claims about it.
Yeah.
Because that was the argument. But now he's done an own self goal, yeah, you could say.
Forget about proving it. How about defining it? What the hell is gravity?
Nobody knows. That's the problem.
Either claims are equally as valid is exactly what you're saying. So there's no way to prove that the friendships that happen at LIGO are caused by gravitational waves, right?
Oh, so you're talking about the actual friendships of it detecting, not the the normal.
I don't understand. Craig didn't even pick that up, guys. He didn't even hook that up and try and reverse it onto Kaleb. What? Is he sick or something? Wow, okay. You were lucky there, Kaleb.
Maybe struggling with his new name.
Felicia's a bit too much.
He might be a setup too.
Fringe shifts of it within the margin of error. Okay, sorry, I was confused by what you meant, the way you phrased it. Yeah. So the actual detection of the gravitational waves comes from a prediction. When we see something happen, we predict something will happen, and then we test to see if that thing will happen. For you to say, oh, well, it's just as valid as saying it's the perturbations in the Earth magnetic field, well, that would be something you would have to substantiate.
See, there he caught it. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now you have to substantiate. Well, Craig, you haven't substantiated anything of your claims.
Exactly. It's just the same thing.
So why are you telling him to substantiate his claims?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said Kaleb shouldn't have done that. He should have just kept him on his claims and said, prove it, Craig.
Yeah.
By measuring the perturbations of the magnetic field of Earth and seeing if they happen at the same time as the measurements of the gravitational waves from black holes colliding.
How do you measure gravitational waves?
Well, LIGO's doing that.
How is it doing that? How's it doing it?
Measuring the space warping from the...
No. It's measuring the space warping. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay.
It's crazy.
Gravitational waves, which are traveling out at the speed of light from the large collision of two masses.
No.
How is it measuring the gravitational waves that are coming at the speed of light? How does a laser do that, Craig? How does it do it?
Those gravitational waves warp the actual the light.
What gravitational waves, Felicia? What gravitational waves? You don't even know how LIGO works, to be honest. He's literally showing he just doesn't even know what LIGO really is. How it functions. He just knows LIGO, so therefore, hey, it's my evidence.
Travels down the LIGO arms. So
LIGO arms?
When the light goes and comes back, well, we know
they shoot a photon on one side, shoot a photon to see if they can collide, and when it makes a collide, it creates an energy explosion, you could say, and that's what they take to call bending in space and warping time because of an explosion, dude. No, because they want to replicate very small scale, kind of like a Big Bang event. The guy is useless. He doesn't even know what the hell's going on. Yeah, and speed of light is just a convention. It's not a real thing, exactly. By the way, guys, if you've all here, thank you for joining. Please hit the likes and share the show. Really, really does help.
Takes to get there and back because light travels at certain speed in a vacuum, and when that changes, we know what speed light travels in the vacuum. It's 100.
Have we measured the one-way speed of light?
No.
Well, no, we can measure the return speed of light. It's fine.
How do you know it's a one-way? How do you know it's one-way, Felicia? How have you measured the one-way speed of light? No, we've been able to measure the return speed. So one way then.
Fine. That's absolutely.
Yeah. So
valid.
if it's going in one direction and coming another direction, how
doesn't LIGO and the particle collider work the same in principle? Debatable D. Or have I got that mixed up? Because LIGO is like a huge interferometer, is it not?
How do we know it didn't go 75% and 25% in the way back? How do we know? How do we decipher that?
Mechanism for that to be the case, and it doesn't match any other observational data. But excuse me, we know the total time for it to take to get there and back. Right, the total time is what's important here, not the one-way time. The time there and back, and when that total time changes, matching the predictions of what we expect to happen for.
Ooh, now you're just giving Kaleb more ammunition for his ether, dude.
A collision of large masses like black holes, then that's what it's detecting based on our prediction.
I want to know, how does a black hole have mass, guys? If it's supposed to be...
That's ridiculous. That's stupid.
It's crazy.
Wow.
But they're literally just talking in Narnia land now. Again, totally off the topic. Kaleb, you should have just said, what's gravity? That's all you had to say.
Why did we believe that rubbish, man? That's crazy. How could we fell for that as well? It's crazy. It's rubbish, isn't it? Absolute rubbish. It's fantasy, like you said. Crazy.
But you see, you get so desensitized to just accept it.
That's it. So, but it's just it's a mad thought. Thinking back, it was like, why? How come I believe that crap? You know, just thinking about it. Mental.
Yeah, debatably. That's what I said. I probably got them mixed up. So thanks for correcting me. Really appreciate it, Debatable D.
If you are saying it is from something else, like the perturbations of the magnetic field of Earth, then you would have to substantiate that, like I said, by measuring the perturbations of the magnetic field of Earth and seeing if that coincides with the fringe shift detected in LIGO, which matches the predictions of gravitational waves.
Okay, so how do we isolate that gravitational waves are causing the fringe shift in the interferometry equipment at LIGO? How do we isolate it?
No, how do we isolate it? What is gravity?
Yep.
You can't isolate something you don't know what it is.
Nope.
Just what is it?
You can't just say, like, I hope you realize you saying that, oh, we make a prediction and that prediction is substantiated in reality, so that means my theory is right. If I make the same predictions with electromagnetism or the ether or anything else, and the predictions match the math that I create for the observation, my theory is equally as valid as yours. You have...
No, Kaleb, please. This is bad.
I know. He's done so well, man. He's done really well
until he started pushing this ether and electromagnetism. I really understand his argument. He's trying to say, I have the same validity as you do just because I say the math works. But no, you could have broke this down ages ago. He was really in the winning. He had Craig, aka Felicia, in the bag.
Yeah. He needs to pull away from the electromagnetism thing. Pull away from it. That'll be perfect.
Have to isolate. You have to isolate the independent variable to show that gravitational waves are affecting laser equipment in LIGO. You have not done that, so you cannot say that that's proof of the bending and warping of space-time.
Okay, so again, you just said a bunch of things saying, oh, it's equally as valid if I have this mass. But the thing is, the mathematical model that you are suggesting doesn't exist. the mathematical model that LIGO uses that shows that it's gravitational.
Models? Now we're talking to models? Really? Hey, Duke Nukem, good to see you. What you talk about models, Craig?
As if the globe exists.
Yeah. Can anyone show us the globe model? They keep talking about this globe model, but I've never seen the globe model before.
Duke Nukem said it's Richie back in FE. No. Full anti-flat earther.
No.
Crazy.
Waves does exist, and the predictions that we can make from that happen to match the experimental data that.
How do they exist, Craig? You don't even know what the data says. You just blindly say it makes the data based on prediction. And by the way, the predictions of data, like statistics, is not scientific, Craig. Statistics is not science.
No.
We get from LIGO. And the way that you isolate the gravitational waves is by making a prediction of the thing the gravitational waves will do. If gravitational waves are real and happening...
No, that's called correlation, Craig. That's not called science. You're not isolating things by predicting them. He doesn't even know what isolation means, does he?
No. No.
I guess he's too isolated.
So predicting, guys, is manipulating the independent variable, people. If I make a prediction, that means I've isolated, I've manipulated the independent variable because I made a prediction.
Nice.
Exactly, Gio. You can make a mathematical equation to prove anything. That's the whole point of Felicia rides a unicorn.
He's a pseudoscientist. He's into pseudoscientism. It's unbelievable.
Then they will do this to the interferometer experiment. That's what you do to see if that happens based on your prediction. You isolate other things.
Okay, let's do this, Craig. Felicia, I believe the sun comes up because I wake up in the morning. I wake up in the morning, the sun comes up. So therefore the sun came up because I woke up in the morning.
Of course, that's how it works.
Yeah.
Exactly how it works.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Insane,
Yeah,
guys.
I get the same thing. I wake up in the morning, the sun comes up, but it's not because of me, it's because of you.
No. I predict, but I made a prediction. So I isolated the independent variable, and it fits my data. So me waking up in the morning caused the sun to rise. Yeah. Thanks, Felicia. That is how much validity your idiotic statement has.
Like electromagnetism by measuring to see if there's electromagnetic interference. You isolate atmospheric interference by putting the LIGO in massive vacuum chambers. The thing that you are not isolating is the thing that you're testing for. You're seeing...
The thing you're not isolating is the thing you're testing for. Oh my bloody word, that's against science. The actual thing you're testing for is the independent variable to see if it's the cause for the dependent variable. So the actual thing is what you say is not. He's doing opposite of what science says, people.
Yep.
What?
The Gregosaurus Rex.
If that matches the predictions, that's how you test for it. I mean, with all due respect, Caleb, I don't know if you've ever performed a scientific experiment.
Well, you definitely haven't, Felicia. That's for certain. No. Remember, his one scientific experiment to me was tea.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask him, what's your independent variable? Time.
Yeah, I remember.
Time caused tea, people.
Yeah. Time. And he manipulated time by waiting. That's how he did it.
Oh, wow. The guy doesn't even understand. He's totally doing a whole 180 of what science is.
Yep.
Because you seem to be getting the slightly backwards. And
I don't think you have either. So you saying that just because it matches the predictions does not substantiate whatever fairy tale you're trying to produce to the audience, okay? So saying that, oh my gosh, the lensing of the gravitational waves caused the interferometry equipment to move.
Whoa, Kaleb. Not you should say the causing of it. Yeah, but he's not supposed to say the causing of gravitational waves. Then it's not. You haven't even. How can I put this? You haven't proven gravitational waves to be able to say the causing of the gravitational waves. You understand? There's no such thing as gravitational waves. There's no cause and effect in what you're even talking about. You're already creating Narnia elves in a Star Wars episode just so you can have it with Pokemon. That's how idiotic the things are together. You can't say you are wanting to use something that's not proven to say it's proving something else. It's idiotic.
Yeah.
One width of a proton. Nobody has any videos of this.
Movement. It's moving because it's moving.
I just said movement's proving movement, you know.
Yeah. Hey, Howard, good to see you, man.
No, you haven't seen it in real life. You haven't gone to LIGO and seen this. You're just a bunch of people in white coats that have produced information to the public. You're just reading it and regurgitating it. So I think this is becoming circular. I think that I've made it very obvious that if I did create a model of a prediction from electromagnetism or some type of ether effect, and it was validated by observation and showed the fringe shift at LIGO to be the exact same, my theory would be equally as valid as yours, not proving that the bending and warping of space-time exists.
He's got a point, but again, he's literally pushing a claim onto him that he's not supposed to.
Yeah, but I think it's equally as invalid, to be honest.
Okay. To me, he's doing everything right, but let's not.
No, there when he was talking there, the way he was talking, his mannerisms, I could see Witzer in that.
Well, I just mean, I believe the ether. That's all.
He's definitely got an influence there.
Yeah.
There's the thing.
Charlie, there's a difference, okay? When you say, okay, I've never been to England, I know it exists. England is validatable. You can validate England.
Yeah.
You can't validate the claims that Felicia's making.
Kaleb, if that existed, and if you could make predictions based on that model that existed and perform experiments based on that predictions, then you'd have a point.
Great. So, I observe in reality the sun rises. I say the cause of the sunrise is because I wake up in the mornings. Okay, that's naturally observed. Everything is great. I make a prediction. I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning and the sun's going to rise. So I wake up the next morning, the sun rises. My data fits. Okay, the next morning I'm going to say, I'm not going to rise, so the sun won't rise. So I slept the whole day. The next day I woke up, now the sun rise. I didn't know it didn't rise the previous day because I slept the whole day. It fits my data, Craig. So is that science now?
Yeah, obviously.
It comports with reality, correct? The sun rose because I stood up.
Yeah, it must have.
Yeah. Really, Craig.
But it doesn't exist. It never has existed. And with all due respect, I don't think you're going to come up with an entire mathematical model that explains everything, including the detections that LIGO make.
What detections? LIGO doesn't make detections. They print out data sheets for you, and then you just take it as word.
You've done is you've not understood. You demanded in our X conversation that it be based on the scientific method, but you seem to be ignoring.
What's a control experiment, Howard? It's systematical experiments based on controlling different variables to isolate the independent variable to figure out the cause. There we go, Howard. Happy?
Scientific method.
You're not using the scientific method.
Yes, thank you, Kaleb.
Experiment analysis. That is the systematic.
What did you say? What? Let's go back to it.
Method, but you seem to be ignoring the scientific method.
You're not using the scientific method.
Observation, hypothesis, experiment, analysis. That is the scientific method you learn in high school.
I don't think you know the words you just said, Felicia. I don't think he knows the words you just said.
You make a prediction from your hypothesis, and then
you observe a natural phenomena. Then you make a hypothesis and do the prediction based on the hypothesis. Do an experiment, then you do analysis based on the results. Craig. Oopsie.
You observe a natural phenomena. You observe a natural phenomena. Just because you made a prediction and said, if gravitational lensing happens like this, then LIGO would move this much, does not substantiate the gravitational waves exist in the form of affecting laser equipment. You have not substantiated it. The audience, I think we'll leave it up to the audience. It's very obvious that if we did create a mathematical frame.
Unicorn farts caused it, Kaleb. Because the math says so. Unicorn farts caused it. Yeah, Duke, Craig is from now on called Felicia. And Felicia's going to ride unicorns. If you want to know why we call Craig Felicia now, go watch part 1, guys. It was funny. Kaleb really ripped Craig apart in part 1. It's really well worth the watch.
Framework that exactly replicated the friendship that we see in LIGO, then we could have equally the amount of same validity to our theory. So you've in no way, shape, or form validated that space-time is a fourth-dimensional fabric that can be bent, affecting light or affecting lasers. I just want to make that very obvious to the audience.
You can make that claim, but the experiment does validate that position.
No,
That's what the experiment does.
No, it's not an experiment, Felicia. First of all, it's not an experiment. It's not even science. What is the natural observed phenomena with LIGO, Felicia? There is none. You've literally skipped past the first step. Then you've gone into correlation based by saying, if we see some kind of fringe shift, therefore our correlation based on what we believe is true. That's not science. That's just circular reasoning based on pseudo-scientific beliefs.
Well, you can say it doesn't, but has no power here. All right,
but that's exactly what you're doing, Felicia. Is because you don't know what science is, so you just say to the actual scientific method. Because he's trying to correct you on the scientific method, Craig. So you the one saying not him.
Experiment is from
positive.
If you don't
hold on.
Let Craig finish. Craig was answering you. Go ahead, Craig.
If you don't like scientific method and the outcomes of the scientific method, then please.
Jaronism trying to defend Craig because Jaron doesn't like proof of science, guys. Remember, Jaron doesn't believe science proves things.
Please don't demand to base a debate on the scientific method.
Does the positive claim or the negative claim have the burden of proof, Craig?
Positive.
In what context?
This is basic logic. You don't know? You don't know the answer?
It really does depend on the context. It's not always...
No, there's no context, Craig. It's a simple question. If you're making the positive claim, the burden's on you, mate. That's how it works. What the... You guys have anything further to say?
Nah.
I think this is just laughable. Wow.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Yeah. Does the positive claim or the negative claim require the burden of proof? Which one?
It's not always so black and white.
Okay, in what situation does the negative claims have to substantiate the burden of proof? What situation? Please name one.
On the context, all right? In general,
name one.
In general, yes, the positive claim of something would have a burden of proof.
Great. So, yeah, you made the positive claim, gravity, so the burden is on you. The burden is not on Kaleb to try and rebut your burden. You have to prove what you had claimed. So the burden is on you. If you're saying the negative has to be proved, why must he go out and prove things that aren't existing? He can't prove something that has not been proven. He can't disprove something that has never been proven. That's just illogical. Hey, Jamie C. Level, good to see you. Yeah, that's Felicia. Felicia, you can go watch part 1 if you want to know why Craig is being called Felicia from now on. It's good to see you.
But logic isn't quite as black and white as that. When you do debates professionally,
yes, it is. Have you ever heard of logical deduction, Craig? I mean, it's logical to decide not to jump in front of the moving train, correct? That's kind of black and white.
Not to a suicidal person, though.
But I mean, logic is very clear.
One example. One example where the negative claim has the burden. One example.
When you're asking someone to prove, like if you've made a claim of something and then someone says, oh, that's not true, and then someone says, oh, you have to prove that that's not true, then you can't prove.
No, that's just reverse of burden, Craig. That's all it is. You're reversing the burden of proof, which means you're trying to take the logical deduction away of... it's actually a logical fallacy, this, because you're trying to take the reverse of burden to push it onto someone else. If you have the burden, your positive claim, and you're trying to reverse it onto someone else, that is a logical fallacy. Hey, Spuddy, good to see you, man.
Negative, or you anyway, in general, yes, you're right, is what I'm saying, right?
Do you have one example, please? One example.
Right. I'm saying in general, you're right. Okay? So what is...
Yeah, Paul, I agree. He does think it's demonstration experiments, but that's because Witzer teaches them this. Witzer likes to teach interferometry as an experiment proving the ether, which is actually sad because it's not. But Kaleb, unfortunately, is on that bus, and well, hopefully he'll wake up one day and see there's just no evidence whatsoever for the ether.
I want one example where, because you're saying it's right. Sometimes it shifts to the negative side. That is not logic. That is not reproducible.
It's not.
Hold on. Can I get my point out?
Let's just move on. What is your point?
No. We're not going to just move on from that. I need you to concede that the positive claim always has the burden of proof. If not, I'd like one example.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Again, it's not quite as black and white as that, but...
Moderator, this is when you're supposed to jump in and say, just answer him, Felicia. He's asked you the question 5 times now. This is when you should say, can you just answer him?
For the purposes of the conversation, in general, that is the case.
Thanks for coming.
So,
Human Rider, what's up, man?
It's always the case. You don't have one example.
It's not quite as black and white as that. But anyway, what's your point?
Because you are making the positive claim that gravitational lensing is affecting interferometry equipment, causing fringe shifts. You have the extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. You can't just say, oh, the math works out. The prediction from the people at LIGO, it is the exact same. So that proves the gravitational waves are affecting laser equipment. You haven't isolated any variables. You haven't showed that gravity waves even exist. There's so many begging the question fallacies.
You haven't done anything. You haven't even told us what gravity is yet, Craig.
It's baked into every...
No, Earth is flat is not a positive claim, Howard. The Earth is a globe is a positive claim. You take horizontal datums and make them curved. You take things falling and make a positive claim that it's gravity. You take stationary observed Earth and say it's spinning. The positive claim is not on the flat Earth side. It's on the globe side. We're just pointing out how your positive claim is debunked. Get the facts straight, mate.
Every single sentence that you say, I don't think that you understand.
Okay, so again, what you're doing is just dismissing the scientific method, which is the thing you demanded. The scientific method is prediction experiment.
I have the negative claim.
No. Scientific experiment is observe natural phenomena. Hypothesis, prediction, experiment. Analysis. Repeat. Craig doesn't know the scientific method, people. Felicia. We should make a song for Felicia. Is anybody still in here? It's like dead quiet.
Yep. But isn't there some? Let's YouTube and find a song that's already a song about some Felicia and see which one fits the best.
I just can't do it live because it's not copyright strikes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'll write the song for Felicia. Felicia and the scientific method.
I have the negative claim. You have the positive.
Positive claim has been substantiated. The positive.
No,
if gravity waves exist, this will happen.
No, that's correlation. And that is a positive claim, no substantiation. It's correlation, not science. Science is not correlative.
That was the positive.
You can't just say if gravity waves exist, this will happen. You have to prove gravity waves exist. How do you prove gravity waves exist?
Hypothesis. It's a hypothesis.
One man. Good job, Flats. Howard can't process info. Yeah, it's difficult for them, mate.
Hypothesis based on the observations of the universe and Einstein's calculations. It's a hypothesis based on the mathematical model. So we make a prediction based on that.
Is math descriptive or explanatory?
If Einstein has said something, his maths of relativity says that.
Is maths descriptive? Felicia, he asked you a straightforward question.
A certain thing will happen, and our observations of the universe are such, and we are using Einstein's mathematical model to form a hypothesis that says that gravity waves will exist. It's within the maths of relativity.
No, that's not how the scientific method works, dude. Oh my gosh.
It is because the hypothesis is an educated guess, right? So let's just say.
Hypothesis is an educated guess. Yeah, in simple little layman's terms, educated guess, as in it's the prediction on what is the cause for the effect, Craig. It's not as simple as just an educated guess. And you know why they call it an educated guess, Craig? Because you've observed a natural phenomena, so you do data research on that observed natural phenomena, and then you create a hypothesis and prediction based on that data. That's why, Felicia.
Flats.
Yeah.
I think I have a little, a melody that might work. Because I was just thinking what rhymes with Felicia in a song I can remember. I the only thing I remembered was this Feliz Navidad.
Yeah, we thought of that last night as well. We sang that last night.
Felicia is a twat. Felicia is a twat. Something like that.
Yeah, we gave
Felicia is a twat. Felicia is a twat.
Felicia doesn't know science, and Felicia is a twat.
I think that's the one you should make your own version of. It just fits.
That's a good one. Hey, man, good to see you. It's good to see the votes, by the way, guys. 55 votes. Unicorns have more validity than Globe Earth. Yes, 69%. No, 31%. Oh, yeah. And by the way, if you came in, guys, please hit the likes, share the shows. It really, really does help to get the show out to a wide audience. Really appreciate all the support, guys. Don't mistake correlation as cause, but all cause and effect relations are correlated. Again, science is not correlation. Okay? Just like I was explaining. The sun rises because I wake up. That's correlative, not scientific. Yes, because there's correlation between the effect and the independent variable. Doesn't make it correlative. It just follows the other. You can't expect to you can't expect not to burn yourself if you stick your hand in the fire. Is it correlative? No, it's not correlative. It's a cause and effect, but it's correlative in a way by saying one has to precede the other.
Observation, again, is the something accelerates towards the ground on Earth at 9.8 meters per second squared, right? My hypothesis of that is that mass warps space-time according...
What's mass? What's mass? Note that Felicia has never told us what mass is before either, by the way.
No.
To the mathematical model put forward by Einstein, right? That's my hypothesis.
That's not a hypothesis. That's so far off removed from a hypothesis as anything. That's not a hypothesis at all. Wow.
He does that a lot with a lot of things.
Wow.
Okay, and if that is the case, if my hypothesis is true, then the prediction is that there will be gravitational waves formed by the collision of large masses like black holes.
Okay, this is becoming extremely circular.
I agree.
Yeah, so here's my point. Right, that is my hypothesis.
Same thing over and over.
Let him finish though.
Hypothesis, whether you like it or not, that is the prediction from the hypothesis. And if that is the prediction, the experiment is
not a hypothesis. It's not a hypothesis. You're just saying hypothesis.
Is to see if gravitational waves exist. Then the way that we would see if they exist is they would affect this equipment in this way, according to physics. We do the experiment, we analyze the results. The results fail to falsify the hypothesis of mass warping space-time according to the...
Falsify? So science proves now, Craig? So if it falsifies, that means it proves the null or it proves the hypothesis. Ooh. I always thought he says science doesn't prove things. Has he changed his mind on that?
Looks like it.
I don't think Jaron is being a fair moderator in this debate. I don't think he jumps in and says let Kaleb talk at all. I think now we heard it 2 times with Craig. Yeah, he only goes in and helping Craig in this one. That's horrible.
It's really weird.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that you guys are right about him. For real.
Yeah.
The mathematical model put forward by Einstein. That's it.
Okay.
And now that's all I need to say on it. If you
Okay, is it my turn?
I think we did good. I think we exhausted that point. So
yeah, we'll move on. I just want to say this last thing before we move on. So Craig is saying that you can prove something exists if you make a mathematical model about it and it matches observations in reality. So somebody could equally go and assume that the laser equipment is being pulled by monkeys and being pulled in a certain direction, that the friend shift is happening. And as long as the mathematical model works out, that substantiates that monkeys are pulling the interferometry equipment. He's proved nothing. He's not following the scientific method as expected, for sure. I already expected you to do this exact same thing. You're just talking a lot and talking in a sense that doesn't prove what you're claiming. You have to prove the physicality of gravitational lensing or waves affecting interferometry equipment. You've done nothing in that sort. You've just assumed, you've just begged the question, and you just making a mathematical model that is accurate does not prove gravitational lensing is affecting lasers. Mm-hmm. I think the audience can decide from the things that you've said and the things that I've asked that you did not do any of that. And also,
Agreed, Kaleb. Agreed. He didn't prove anything. He's just doesn't know science. He's science illiterate.
And the faces he makes when he's getting put in his place, you just gotta love it. It makes my whole night.
I must say, why have I never debated Craig with a moderator before? It's so nice to just not be talked over the whole time.
Yeah, that's why Bro Sanchez used Jaron too when he was debating him. But he was doing a way better job in the one with Bro Sanchez.
Well,
I think he might. I don't know. I don't get this.
The first part, he actually did a good job of moderating. But
I saw some of the first part.
But this part too, it looks like he's but biased towards giving Craig the help.
Yeah, or he's doing something completely different behind the screen.
Mathematical models are not proof of anything. Math is descriptive, not explanatory. You must use English to explain anything that exists in reality. You cannot use math to definitively suggest the existence of any phenomena or claimed phenomena or physical thing in existence. You cannot use math. You must use words. So just because the math works out on the guess of the gravitational lensing affecting lasers in no way, shape, or form substantiates the bending and warping of spacetime or gravitational lensing caused by black holes hitting each other. Let's move on to the next point.
You do realize, Kaleb, though, that there's no such thing as scientific proof, right?
Ooh.
Okay,
But he
then
just
prove the globe.
Sorry. But did he not just say he's using science to prove his gravitational waves, aka LIGO? Did he not just have that whole argument? That was his argument, was it not? That science is proving. Now it doesn't prove? He also said falsify, which the antithesis of falsify is prove. Ooh, Jaren likes this though, because Jaren doesn't believe science proves things. See why he's smiling? So I got a guarantee, I don't know, I got a feeling now that Jaren's going to even lean more towards Craig now to help him out.
Right.
You don't think that the laws of thermodynamics prove that high pressure systems seek low pressure systems?
Okay, that's not science, by the way, Kaleb. That's a natural law.
Saying that science doesn't prove anything is the...
That's a bit of a category error, but yeah. But knowing based on entropy, high will always go to low. Yeah. Understand what he's trying to say, but that's not science. That's a bit of a category error.
Yeah.
Illogical. Hey, I'm talking. Are you just going to talk over me? You good?
I just wanted you to be aware that in science, there is no... The concept of...
I don't believe in that. I think science does prove things.
I don't care what you believe, but there is no such thing.
I don't believe in that. Yeah. Kaleb, this is when you're supposed to say science doesn't care what you believe. Science specifically is a cause and effect relationship. As soon as you put believe into it, it becomes pseudoscience. That's unfortunately bad.
And science doesn't prove anything, but you can use it to prove stuff.
That's actually a thought debatable these on, guys. I'm still convinced Jerry is no longer a flat earther, but won't leave and is making his channel into debatism. I don't think he ever was a flat earther, debatable D.
Yeah, it's true.
Thing as scientific proof. If you're trying to prove in science, then you're not doing science. You're doing pseudoscience.
What's the definition of pseudoscience, Greg?
It's Greg when he opens his mouth.
Yeah, it's Felicia. Felicia's the definition of pseudoscience, guys.
Yeah.
Scientific method. There's no proof in the scientific method.
I'm surprised that you could define
That's all science does, is prove. That's all it does, is prove things. It either proves your hypothesis or proves your null.
Yeah.
Just like he says, falsify. So what's the antithesis of falsify? Prove. So if you falsify the null, you've proven your hypothesis. If you've falsified your hypothesis, you've proven the null. That's all science does, is prove things, Craig.
Okay, so just because you assume these, let's move on to the next topic.
Let's
Craig.
move on because we've
prove...
exhausted that same thing.
Ooh, why? Why must he move on? They're talking about proof of science, Jaren. I know you don't like that. Because you don't think science proves things.
So go ahead.
Sorry, what?
So let's move on to the next topic so we don't just keep going on that same thing. Whoever wants to bring up the topic, go ahead.
Okay.
What's that as?
How do you prove the Earth's in motion when relativity assumes that you can't?
Oh, man. I was hoping they're going to do some science proof. Because this would have been awesome.
Well, relativity doesn't assume that you can't. It just assumes that particular experiments show that you can't.
That's false. Relativity says you're not able to because of our reference frame, Felicia. So, has anybody been able to show relativity to get us out of our reference frame to see Earth moving? No. So Craig is wrong again. Craig is wrong most of the time, by the way. Oren, what's up, man? Good to see you. So, yeah, Oren emailed me today because he wants to have a debate with me and says I must bring scientific proof, evidence for flat Earth. And I said, but I've never claimed shape is science. But we do know the globe has scientific claims, correct?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
he seems to be running away from that when I ask him to bring his science for his globe. and I will debate it, rip it apart, and then tell him why it's a flat and not a globe. Then he says I'm not making any claims. I said that is a claim. I'm telling you why it's flat and why your science is not science for your globe. So we'll see if he decides a topic sometime. But good to see you, Aaron. Thanks for coming.
Okay.
Which motion are you talking about? The motion around the sun or the motion around its own axis?
Motion full stop.
Do you actually claim that we can prove that the Earth is orbiting the sun?
All observational evidence would suggest so.
Oh, wait. Did he just say... Did he not just say you can't prove? And now he says observational evidence says so. So proving now.
Yeah, exactly. He's a contradiction.
So it doesn't prove what now proves.
Wow.
Felicia is a twat.
Absolutely.
Felicia is a twat.
Felicia is a twat. Come on, man. Let's kick it.
Felicia doesn't know science and contradicts himself. Felicia is a twat. It's crazy.
Oh, man.
What observational evidence would suggest that, Craig?
All the satellites we've put out there.
The satellite you claim going to second law of thermodynamic violation called space?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
The parallax of the stars.
Okay, don't skip.
Parallax of the stars. What parallax of the stars? What's he talking about?
Scattergun. One at a time.
You asked, so I was going to give you a list.
Just one at a time. I'll destroy each point by point. How do satellites suggest we're orbiting around the sun, Craig?
Yeah.
That's incredible. I've never heard that. I didn't hear what you said.
Because they can see it.
Because they can see it. What? Satellites don't see. Satellites are tin cans floating in the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah. Tin cans with wings.
Oh, wow.
Because they can see it. So you have a video of us orbiting around the sun from a satellite?
What's an orbit,
There's
by the way?
videos in space that show the Earth and the
Videos?
sun doing the things that we expect them to do.
Videos in space. What videos in space are you talking about?
Wow.
Show us a video in quote-unquote space where satellites show the Earth orbiting the sun. What?
Pigs in space.
I never lied about anything, Oren. But yeah, he did mention he doesn't know enough about science to defend him. The problem is you brought science up, Oren. So, yeah. But anyway, I'll wait for the new topic.
It's funny that way.
I would have enjoyed debating that topic, by the way. But yeah, any other new topic would be great.
Where's the video?
Yeah, where's the video?
Well, DirecTV had a good one for 24 hours.
If I show you a
That's a
video
good one.
of my girl...
What?
TV.
DirecTV had a video of...
Directly from space, I guess.
Let's see. Direct
Yeah, let's see this.
TV shows Earth orbit the sun. Is that what it said? I don't know.
Something like that.
Okay. Nope. No.
Nothing.
Definitely not videos from space.
Yeah, you gotta be careful what they do there.
No, I don't know. Well, maybe Felicia, would you do us a
Huge favor.
a huge favor and please present us the link for this video, Craig?
Yes.
It's a huge one, though.
So yeah, please. It'd be great of you to present this evidence, this video footage.
A friend dressed up as Bigfoot running around in a forest. Does that prove that Bigfoot exists?
Yeah, it's like
Why would you ask for the video
with
to immediately dismiss the video? That is very dishonest.
answer the question, Craig. If I show you a video, hold on, I'm talking. You're gonna. I know the start of my sentence interrupted the middle of yours. Okay.
Wait, didn't you say that backwards? Isn't it the start of your? No, the start of your sentence interrupted the middle of my sentence. You said it backwards, correct? If I'm picking it up that way.
No, I think it's the middle of my sentence.
Yeah, but he said the middle of the start
Maybe
of my sentence interrupted the middle of your sentence, so he got it mixed up.
And what's the new standard now? Video from
a violation of space, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Right.
Yeah.
Seen it on the telly? They have more orbits.
Yeah, I mean, Hollywood. Yeah.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. Felicia just made that claim that satellite. There's actual video footage on TV or something, direct TV, of the Earth orbiting the sun.
On the satellite.
I got video footage of Bigfoot.
Me too. My feet are huge.
Madness, isn't it?
Oh, it's crazy. There's a lot of people.
And I actually own a black hole. For some reason, it's hairy. I don't know what's up with that, but
that's a
I own
brown
one.
hole. You forgot. No, that's not a black hole. It's a brown.
Oh, it depends. It depends if it's nighttime or
We're not talking about the Hershey Highway.
We're talking about assholes. So I just had
depends
to
on
add
the
mine to
reflection
the
on the
conversation.
bottom and the reflection of light.
But anyway, you can't go to space to be claimed. So
If
Kaleb is supposed to actually be breaking it down, saying, how do you get these so-called satellites in Narnia? Hey, Luch.
Mike discipline.
I want to go to Narnia.
Yeah.
Me up there.
Hey, Luch, good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming.
Show you. Answer the question. Just yes or no. If I show you a video of admittedly my girlfriend dressed up as Bigfoot running around in a forest, does that prove Bigfoot exists? Yes or no?
Yeah.
No, you've just admitted it's your girlfriend, so it wouldn't prove anything.
Okay, let's say it's not my girlfriend. Does it prove Bigfoot exists? It's incredible how you just avoid answering questions directly.
It's a simple
how about
yes
a yes
or no? Yeah.
Right. That's right. He's right there.
But I mean, this is the way these anti-flat earthers work. We ask them all the time a yes or no question, and they're just too scared to answer it because according to them,
they have to say yeah, but
yeah.
But you see, according to them, it's a loaded question.
Yeah, and they do the same. And they do the same to you all the time as well. They ask you, to exact same thing.
They want you to replace their models,
they
replace their. Yeah, they want everything needs to be replaced.
Prove
otherwise
this, prove
that.
Replace their model. Can they give me a model to replace?
Nope.
I haven't seen their model yet.
Exactly.
Me neither, but
yep.
Yeah, I mean, we still haven't seen a model that they keep discussing, telling us about.
And they don't even know what the main thing to make it their fake model work is. They don't even know what that is. Can't explain that.
Or no. If I show you a video of Bigfoot, does that prove Bigfoot exists?
No.
Okay. So no then. So your Earth not orbiting Sun then because video not proof. Well done.
Okay, so if you show me a video of the Sun or the Earth supposedly going around the Sun, does that prove we orbit around the Sun?
It's evidence for it.
But for him, it wasn't evidence. Now, okay.
It's not evidence.
You can't give evidence.
It's double standard.
Look, yeah, it's double standard. Look, it's obviously evidence for it in a way which is correct, because it shows evidence towards his claim. But it can't give evidence because you can't have a satellite in space. Space does not exist. You can't violate the second law of thermodynamics.
Does it prove it?
Science doesn't care about proof.
That's all science is about. Is proof,
Wow.
Craig. It's
What a
proving.
statement.
Yeah, it's proving the cause for an observed phenomena. That's what science does.
Yeah, what else is it for?
It's crazy.
Exactly. What a statement that is, man. That's incredible.
Hey Sam,
I challenge you. What else does science do then? What does science do then?
Science doesn't care about proof.
Then
Wow.
why do you do it then? Then why is he pushing
Why do
science?
Yeah, so why do science if
No, but-
it doesn't prove things?
If science doesn't prove things, okay, Then why is he always banging around science this, science that, science this?
Exactly.
Because he's an 8-year-old. He has the mind of an 8-year-old. You know, an 8-year-old would argue that way. But yeah, you know what I mean?
Of course.
So in other words, he has no argument to stand on because anything he just brings up as so-called science, Kaleb can just say, oh, but that doesn't prove anything. As you said, science doesn't prove things.
That's right.
What?
Okay, I already said I don't care if you think that we don't prove things with science. We do.
No, science doesn't have proof. There's no such thing. No matter what you say, there is no such thing as scientific proof.
What the hell?
Denial of reality on the top scale. Cool. Okay.
No danger. That's just crazy. Wow.
So next time Craig says prove something, ask him prove what from what with what?
What is proof? I think maybe you should ask him what is proof.
Yeah, how do you prove that?
Can we even prove something these days?
Just, Spuddy, thank you for coming, mate. That's crazy.
Does the laws of thermodynamics, which is a science, prove that low pressure systems seek high?
Again, that's not science. It's natural law, Kaleb. The laws of thermodynamics is natural law, not science. Now, you can do scientific experimentation based on observing natural law, but that doesn't make the natural law scientific.
No.
High pressure systems?
Well, that's not what it says. It says that entropy is always increase in a system that is reversible. But
okay.
Oh my God.
Fight me the second law of thermodynamics, please.
The second law of thermodynamics talks about entropy, that there's dissipation or there's entropy to systems over time, that they become...
You cite me the actual law.
Do I have everything memorized in my head, Craig? You remember when you...
Oh, no, double standards, exactly.
That's good, that's good.
But this is both standards from both sides, actually. Because Kaleb just say you shouldn't bring it up if you don't know
fork tongue, yeah.
And then
fork tongue.
Yeah, so if Kaleb says you shouldn't bring it up if you don't know about it, then he's being double standards on himself. And Craig is
don't bring it up unless you know about it, but then I don't know anything about that.
Exactly. And then Craig also has double standards because now he expects him to give it, but he didn't know. Understand? Yeah. So they both have double standards here based on this.
Wow. So we get nowhere in the conversation that way. We just have a mental blockage, basically. Two wills that won't give in.
Did Nathan and Owen have a conversation about the comment between myself and Owen? That'd be interesting. No, I haven't heard about it.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Sort of, kind of, yeah.
Michael told me he did. He definitely did.
Was it probably in a pre-show or something?
He kind of. I never heard it. I never seen it. But he did. Didn't go mad at him, but he was definitely saying he was wrong. He was wrong for that. You know what I mean?
Well, I was angry.
I might have caught part of the time, but it was.
You were wrong. He said Aaron was wrong.
I was angry. Let's put it mild.
Well, of course you were angry. You know what I mean? You're entitled to be.
Okay,
absolutely.
But let's move on. Enough Arwen wizardry.
You said that earlier. Do you expect me to?
Sure, thanks, Paul. Really appreciate it, mate.
Just memorize all the laws of thermodynamics. Can you cite it? Cite it. Cite the second law of thermodynamics, Craig.
It says that entropy will always increase in an ice system, but it has to be reversible.
No, that's not actually what it says. It just says
something like that.
Entropy of an isolated system will always intend to increase. That's what it says. Right. But it has to be reversible.
Yeah. Right, hold on. What Charlie Wells says is true. Like though, he did.
Maybe he only read the first 5 paragraphs, and that's where he got to.
Yo. I was talking.
I'm sorry. I only heard part of what he said.
Yeah, but Charlie, it doesn't really matter what the people think anyway, and I don't expect them to really care. The thing is, he crossed the line, and I just called him out on it. That's about it. I moved on with my life. The guy has issues.
That's it. But he did apologize. Michael told me.
That's what it says, and
it has
the
to
only
be reversible.
that we know is the entire universe. There is no other isolated systems.
How do we have a low pressure system next to a high pressure system, like our atmosphere, adjacent to each other, without a container?
There we go.
We don't. That's a straw man.
No, it's not. You just cited the second law of thermodynamics and you call that a straw man. Literally just cited it and you say that's a straw man. Tell me how you don't understand the second law of thermodynamics. Oh wait, we already had this debate a few times. And every single time, you can't decide if Earth is an open or closed system.
We don't?
No.
Must be hard to tell.
What's happening?
Well, it is hard. Because they claim astronauts and matter and things leave Earth's system, which means it would have to be an open system. But they claim it's a closed system because they mathematically need it to be closed.
Read what Arvin said.
Owen regretted getting angry and bringing your kids into it, but he said he wouldn't apologize and said you deserved it. Well, then he's not sorry.
No, of course he's not.
That's secondary information, though, too.
Then he didn't regret it then. It's as easy as that.
No, of course not.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
That's not an apology.
But yeah, it doesn't matter.
read what Vicky said. You don't have to read it out. It's fine. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay, let's get on with the... no.
There might be some truth to that.
No, man. Now press...
The rocket came from.
Does anybody know where we are?
Well, I've never said this.
God.
You can mathematically break the theory. Newton just had a law, which was a mathematical description of something that...
Talking about the two claimed theories that are written in English. We're not talking about a mathematical model. To 9.83 meters per second.
Okay, we're not that far
yet. That gravity acted instantaneously and heat acted.
So you think mass attracting mass and bendy warpy spacetime is the exact same thing, or are they two separate theories?
No, we're not there yet.
Thing? Yes or no, Craig?
Gravity creates a physical
container to the Earth's atmosphere? Craig, do you have one example of that?
Okay.
Well, I've never said there's no container.
So you think there's a container to the Earth's atmosphere?
Well, everything is contained within the universe, and gravity specifically contains the Earth's atmosphere.
Is gravity a physical thing?
Gravity is something that can be measured.
He asked you, is gravity a physical thing?
How do you measure something that you can't see, detect? You know what I mean?
But you understand what I'm saying? His question was, is gravity a physical thing? So you totally did a non sequitur now and said it's a measured thing. No, is gravity a physical thing? That's it.
Yes or no question.
Okay, I'll ask again. I don't know how you didn't answer. Is gravity a physical thing? Yes or no, Craig?
Gravity creates a physical force.
Gravity creates gravity.
Quite a bit of drugs, actually.
Gravity creates a physical force. And how the hell does it do that, Craig?
Gravity's not a force. Due to the general theory of relativity, it's no longer a force, Craig.
Never has been.
You didn't know that?
Creates a force. I didn't say gravity is a force. I said gravity creates a force.
So how does gravity create a force? What is gravity, Felicia?
How does gravity come into it to make that force?
I don't know when we're ever going to get an actual answer to this. Because he keeps saying this. Gravity causes gravity.
I was being polite. Yeah, I know, babe. I know.
And just so you're aware, both what Einstein and Newton say are actually the same thing. In fact, if you take Einstein's tensor...
Ooh, now he wants to talk about Einstein's tensor equations, but when I debate him and talk about it, he doesn't want to talk about the tensor equations with me. Why is that? Because when I talk about the tensor equation with him, he just says he doesn't know enough about it to talk about it.
That's it.
Because you're not with the programs. I can't scam you, see? That's probably why.
Huh. Weird.
You can mathematically break them down to Newton's law of universal gravity.
And it cannot do that. Felicia.
Wow. Felicia hasn't got a brain.
Felicia is talking BS as usual. Felicia tries to sound smart, when Felicia actually knows sweet bugger all.
Exactly.
In non-relativistic
You're really going all
situations,
the way with this Felicia thing.
I'm going to push Felicia right on. This is Craig's new pet name, Felicia.
Of course. It's staying. It's staying.
Glenn South, when are you going to talk about my unicorn?
Actually say exactly the same thing, just explained extremely different.
No. The mechanics is two different things. They are not compatible with one another. One is a force, one is not a force. One is only local, one is not local. One is mathematically based, one is physically based. You get it? One is optical, one's not. Which one is which?
Luke, you're just searching Google again and giving us Google answers about gravity. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, we've been through this with Luch as well.
I know.
Yeah, I also want to know, guys, if we're three-dimensional beings, we've been asking this how many times, how do you observe something in fourth dimension?
Yeah, how do you do that?
You don't. You have to render it in 3D.
Yes, Jonathan. An engine creates a force, but it's not a force. An engine is a physical thing.
Exactly.
Gravity is a mathematical fourth-dimensional construct based on an thought experiment. Get it? Time is a concept. Space is a concept. The warping of two concepts in a conceptual time fourth manifold is conceptual, only mathematical, not physical. An engine is physical. An engine has mechanical parts.
You can touch it.
Yeah.
You can smell it, and you can taste it too.
So let's just be clear about that. But anyway, sorry, I got distracted.
So you think mass attracting mass and bendy warpy space-time is the exact same thing, or are they two separate theories?
Two different things.
They're two separate theories explaining the same outcome.
No, they...
They always have to throw that crap in there, don't they? They have to say it right and then twist it.
Newtonian, the apple is physically falling to the ground because it's being attracted by a physical force. Einsteinian, the apple is not actually falling, it's only appearing to do so because you are rising up to meet the apple, not physically. Get it? There's no actual force compared to there is actual force, where the one says you moving, the other one says you're not moving. Get it? They're literally two opposite things.
Okay, that's not my question.
I had a theory, actually, to be honest. Newton didn't propose a theory. Newton just had a law, which was a mathematical description of something that he saw happening.
Yeah, he saw things fall that were denser than the medium around it, which was already, by the way, there. Archimedes' principle was the thing. But he took it and said, well, I see things fall, so therefore, if something falls, if something moves, you have to have a force. So F equals ma. So based on his postulation of F equals ma, I will make it a natural law because I pick up a rock and it falls to the ground. That was it. He later on got ascribed with the law of gravity, Felicia. He didn't even want to be ascribed with it because he found it so absurd.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, C.V. Boyles. Yeah.
That was it. Newton, in fact, was very adamant that you don't push a theory because his maths suggested that gravity acted instantaneously, and he didn't like that suggestion. Of course, Einstein came along and explained, no, it doesn't act instantaneously. It would actually act at the speed of light, which is why, under non-relativistic situations, both Einstein and Newton break down to exactly the same thing, the law of gravity, m1m2 over r squared.
A mathematical model which doesn't prove anything or prove the existence of gravitation. Mm-hmm. It's descriptive, not self-explanatory. You must use English. Hence why we're talking about the two claimed theories that are written in English. We're not talking about a mathematical model. Everyone agrees that things seem to...
Yeah, hold your show ransom, Jamie. It will help.
Fall. Hold on. I'm still going. Hold on. Everybody agrees that mass falls to the earth in a vacuum measured by interferometry equipment.
I saw an awesome meme today. Google says the moon landings were real. Also, Google, man can have baby.
Exactly. Crazy. That's a good one.
Hey, Jonathan Clark. Hey, Kenny West. Good to see you, man. That's crazy. And Ulrich, good to see you too, man. Oh.
At an average from 9.77 to 9.83 meters per second squared. We agree on the acceleration rate. Now we must prove and isolate.
QNFI, I don't know what QNFI is, to be honest. I think QNFI just likes trolling the whole flat Earth globe thing. That's why I haven't seen him for a little while. He still does videos about me every day, practically. But I don't bother even to watch his stuff because you see the difference between me and Arwen is a guy can troll my channel. I just don't give a shit. If I don't watch it, it doesn't bother me. Jamie does awesome work because he takes the stupid stuff Arwen says and does good work with it. So that's why I love it, because it's really good. QNFI actually does good video stuff on me as well, which I'm not going to take personal because that's how his channel is. It's a troll channel. So, yeah.
But he was in here a couple of months ago and he was alright. He was sound. And he goes back and forth, doesn't he?
Yeah. I got no issues with him. It's just the way he is. He's troll channel.
Yeah.
So, yeah. He's very nasty, yeah. But it doesn't bother me. Like I said, if I don't watch it, it doesn't bother me.
The cause for that, I would say that it's relative density, buoyancy, and electrostatics. Electrostatics decides the downward vector because our atmosphere is positively charged.
Oh, so there you go again, pushing the wits at stuff. Oh.
That is definitely there.
So he's once again taken the burden from Craig and put it into his own lap.
Yeah.
You should have just kept on him with gravity. What's gravity? How is it working? What did it? That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Charge is always seeking equilibrium with the negative charge of the Earth, which is negative to about 500,000 coulombs. So there's a constant seeking of equilibrium, a downpour of electrostatics to the Earth, causing the downward vector and deciding what goes up and down and which direction that is. Buoyancy and density works out the rest. Do you think that a helium...
Look at his face.
That was a good way of putting it, man.
Took his glasses off.
Wow. I don't think you should ever take your glasses off on stream again, Felicia. Makes you look sickly.
Yeah, you need
to and you might want to comb your hair once in a while, too.
You need to put some mascara on and some eyeshadow and that.
Wow.
Helium balloon is an anti-gravity machine, Craig?
No. A helium balloon doing what it does is the predictions of gravity.
No. This is the thing. This is the hijacking of density arrangements. Felicia, remember, Archimedes' principle existed 1,900 years before the postulation of gravity. Because you mathematically worked gravity into the equation doesn't make gravity the thing that causes the helium balloon to go up. It just means you hijacked what we observe in reality and decided to call it gravity. That's it. Just like he said, he can call it what he wants, doesn't make it reality. That was his argument from the beginning.
Why? How?
Because of buoyancy, which is also a prediction of gravity.
So could you replace the equation of buoyancy?
It looks like Beetlejuice. Now you say him. It makes me think of when he's sitting there in the room after he died, and the woman sitting there with the legs and the body, and the woman with... Yeah. Oh, wow.
I know
Yannick doesn't go. Good to see you, man.
About to rage. I know you're getting mad. Calm down. Could you...
Luch, you just contradicted yourself. You said gravity creates a force. Now you said gravity is the force that pulls... No. There is no force pulling things down. There's no gravity. Things simply fall because it's denser than the medium around it. That's it. It cannot support the object.
Place.
Hold on. Let him finish that. let Craig finish that answer.
Ask me a question. Would you like me to answer your
Finish,
question, Kaleb?
finish it. Yeah,
Or
finish
would
it.
you like-
Third time now. Third time that Jaren's letting Craig talk and not Kaleb.
Yeah. Yeah.
Weird.
Talking.
Yeah.
Finish it.
Okay. So,
Rage.
the actual mechanical description of how a helium balloon rises when there is still gravity is very simple. The air.
Archimedes principle, yeah. And Archimedes principle precedes the gravity postulation 1,900 years. And notice the gravity with the buoyancy and density argument. The buoyancy based on gravity argument is postulated from gravity being a force. So since gravity is not a force, thank you to Einstein, which superseded it, it means buoyancy is not part of gravity any longer. Get it? It means it's disproved that gravity causes the helium balloon to go up because of buoyancy. No, mate. I can tell you why it does go up. Relative density. Not gravity.
If you take the same volume of air as the balloon, there's more mass, more density in that air.
What's he talking about? Purple t-shirt with atmosphere 666 on it. It says atmosphere, but that's 1996. Bean Dean, can you read? And usually I put a cross here with where the sphere is, but my children decided to take the cross off. So now it says atmosphere. It was a clean shirt to wear.
Area, okay? Which means that if you do the calculations for gravity, there is more force acting on the air than the balloon. That means all the air around the balloon is pulled down.
And since gravity is not a force, you just conceding then gravity doesn't cause the balloon to go up. Well done, Craig. So gravity is not the cause for helium balloons going up because gravity is not a force.
With a stronger force than the balloon, which creates a force in the opposite direction, directly perpendicular to the direction of gravity. That is buoyancy. FB equals rho VG.
The balloon goes up because it's less dense than
go.
the medium that encompasses it. It has nothing to do with the fake gravity assumption that you make. And if you look at the buoyancy equation, you can replace little g with little a.
Hey LJ, what's up, man? Good to see you. My email address is flatzoid@gmail.com. It's good to see you, man.
Yeah, Luch. Read what Luch is saying again.
No, he keeps contradicting himself. He's
You're just Googling it.
Yeah,
just Google.
as usual. But yeah, LJ, you can email me at flatzoid@gmail.com. Really appreciate you coming, man.
Acceleration, and it all works out just the same.
Yeah, but that G is due to gravity, and gravity has been substantiated in many.
No, it hasn't.
So, well, you can say it hasn't, but it has. You just ignore the experiments and say that they don't do the thing.
What? Didn't you just say science doesn't prove things? Now experiments.
No, exactly. What the hell? It's just a big contradiction. Crazy.
Wow.
That they claim they do. And if it was electrostatic...
Yes, F is literally a force, Luch. And that's why gravity is not a force, so you can't claim F equals ma for gravity.
Then...
Hey, INFE, good to see you, mate.
Sorry. Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. Give me 1 sec.
Not just electrostatics, by the way.
Yeah.
But if you're claiming that electrostatics is a large part of it, then...
No, he doesn't say a large part. Let me put it this way. The argument for them on electrostatics is it just gives the direction. That's it. The density is the amount of acceleration. That's all. The sorting out. Craig. That's their argument.
That means there would be Well, you said that it was a part of it, right?
It
Yes or
just
no?
decides the downward vector. Do you
See, I told you. By now you should know this argument, Felicia. It's been said to you millions of times. Heck, I don't ascribe to their argument, and I know about it.
understand what I'm saying there? Do you need me to explain it to you?
And that would be a large part of it. The downward vector is a very large part of why things do what they do. But the downward vector would, if it's all to do with electrostatics, would have different forces applied based on the materials because of different charges. But also we can isolate things like that by measuring the charges of things and seeing if it's that. And also we can do experiments to see if gravity acts in the opposite direction to up and down.
I'm not going to defend this because, yeah, I don't agree with Kaleb's electrostatics either.
Like the Cavendish experiment. The Cavendish experiment shows that mass attracts mass horizontally.
Yeah, Lumpy, good to see you. That's a good point. Sorry, does a globe have a down, guys?
No.
No. So you need a flat earth for that?
Yeah, absolutely.
As well, matching the predictions of Fg equals gm1 m2 over r squared, so much so that you can actually calculate the universal gravitational constant when you do the experiment. And if it was electrostatics, according to your explanation, that would mean that the two masses, which are the same, would have the same charge and repel each other, except they don't, they attract each other. So...
What? He now is saying magnetism. He said electrostatics, Craig, not magnetism. You complete and utter buffoon.
Can't be electrostatic.
Bean, what are you talking about? Flip-flop back to the globe. The globe doesn't exist. Can't go to a globe. It doesn't exist. Globe doesn't have a down, Rachie. There's no such thing as down on your globe, remember? We get this argument all the time from you guys. Oh, there's no down on a globe. There's only towards the center. Towards the center is not a down, Rachie. Maybe you might need to learn your new religion.
No. Does the Cavendish experiment always work every single time with 100% accuracy?
No.
When it's set up properly, yes.
How do you isolate electrostatics from the apparatus?
You check to see if there is electrostatics being, you can put, for instance, if you put it in a box, you could put something that is...
the word you should be using, Craig, is you ground it. What the hell?
And we can say sit down to them, but they can only say sit.
Oh,
wow. So we should say sit to them, just like we say to dogs. Sit, because we can't tell them to sit down. They wouldn't be able to know what that meant.
Susceptible
Stand.
to movement.
Hey, Austin, good to see you. No, Rachie, there is no down on your globe. It's only center towards the center. There's no such down on your globe.
You would call it in,
yeah.
Not down.
Electrostatic energy, like tissue paper hanging down to see if it's moving at all, if there's any electrostatics in that box. But again, if it was electrostatics, okay, then the two masses, which are usually of the same material, would have the same charge. And the same charge repels, not attracts. But what we find in the Cavendish experiment, every single time when it's set up properly, is that the masses attract. They never repel. They always attract.
That's false. I've seen Cavendish go opposite way. I've seen Cavendish do absolutely bugger all.
Yeah.
With electrostatics, they would repel.
What is polarization in the context of electrostatics?
It would be changing the direction.
You don't know what polarization is?
Well, it would be changing the north to south. It would be changing the direction of the charge.
You think there's a north to south when talking about electrostatics? Seriously, Craig.
Magnetism.
Okay. Wow. Oh, wow.
That's why I stopped saying north to south. I said the direction of the charge.
What is polarization? And you can concede. It's okay to not know things, Craig. What is polarization when talking about electrostatics?
Yeah, it would be the direction of the charge.
No.
If you were to change
not the direction of the charge. It's the flux of the positive or negative. It's the flux. And there's always polarization to matter. And every single piece of matter that exists in reality is electrostatic. And guess what? Electrostatics is 10 to the 39th power stronger than the weak force of gravity.
Only at small distances. You always forget to mention that one.
Oh, so it's also distance related, just like your gravity.
Right.
Weird how that works.
Yep.
Notice that by gravity claim that the further distance you're away, the weaker the not force is.
But again, you keep...
Rachel has a spanner because she has a right to have a spanner. She hasn't done anything to get that spanner taken away. She hasn't overstepped any boundaries. And it's... appreciate you still Rachel, even though you are definitely anti-flat earther.
Jumping over this point, Kaleb, right? Let's assume that it is to do with electrostatics, that's what decides the vector. That would mean that in the Cavendish experiment, the thing that would decide the vector of the masses moving towards each other would also be electrostatics.
Tell us, Felicia, how you don't understand the difference between electrostatics and magnetism. He's conjoining the two. Literally. Wow.
But in the Cavendish experiment, the masses are the same. They would have the same charge, which would repel. Right?
No. Hence why I'm telling you there's polarization.
He's confusing magnetism with electro. Oh, really? Oh, hey, Divergent Droid. Good to see you, man. Glad you could make it. Doesn't Kaleb believe in the ether? Yes, he does. I would actually like to talk to Kaleb and actually maybe talk to him about the ether. Actually, it'll be. Yes, you are an anti-flat earther, Rachie. Through and through.
Great idea there. Great idea you got there. That's what you should do.
Definitely.
You should start out introducing, you talking to each other, hello, la la la, and then just start with what you don't agree on and take it from there.
Yeah, because I would like to have an awesome conversation because he believes in ether, I don't. Because when I first came to Flat Earth, obviously I pushed the ether as well. Because it was my way of transitioning from the globe into the Flat Earth. But the more I looked into it, the more I figured out there's just no evidence for it.
Yeah,
maybe he's got evidence for it that I don't know of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was convinced about it for a couple of months. Sort of thing. I would kind of thought that for a while. But yeah, it wasn't long before it came out of it.
JBC level. How long until Rachel becomes a dark world earther? Oh wow.
No, I to be honest, where she is now, she's been back and forward with flat and globe. She'll end up being a hollow earther, living inside the core, living inside the earth, inside the globe.
Nice.
Hell, if they have
Are you going to let me get my point? You want to hear? You asked me a question. You want to hear the point, Craig?
Would love to.
Okay. So there's polarization to grounded apparatus. There's still polarization, meaning that the electrons, the assumed electrons, which I don't believe in, are moving through the masses to the ground. So there's a constant polarization, meaning a flux.
Which you don't get, Craig. Which you, a nuclear physicist, don't get. What? He used to be a nuclear physicist on a submarine, remember, in the Navy. But he doesn't get flux. What?
To the positive and negative charge, which changes based on the reference frame of the two masses that are supposed to be attracting towards each other. So they're not the same exact electrostatic charge at all times. There is a flux, which could cause them to tend.
And that's caused by distance, Craig.
Towards each other.
But wait, but ground is neutral, though.
Yes. He still doesn't get it.
The ground's neutral.
Yeah, that's why you ground it. But the flux is not. The flux is still going through the charge.
You think there's neutral in electrostatics?
Oh
Wow.
When you ground the equipment, it's grounded. When you ground the Cavendish experiment, it's grounded to the Earth, which is neutral.
Okay. Yeah. No, the Earth's surface. Wait, hold on. You think the Earth's surface is neutral, or is it negative to 500,000 coulombs? Yes or no?
That wasn't my question. You can't add.
Kaleb, you're making this too. I don't know. He's literally making this too much for him. Okay, guys, I think we're gonna end this here.
Yeah.
Wow. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
It's crazy. Same stuff all the time.
I don't even know.
And I mean, he did like the first part. He did do well, but and it's bits here, like he got him. He got Craig. No, Craig was definitely just talking the same bullshit, really. To be honest.
Thank you. Sorry, I got a super chat. Thank you very much, LJ, for your $2 super chat. Really, really appreciate the support, man. You rock. Friendly reminder: Craig's mentally ill. Yeah, Felicia's not really great. Thank you for the super chat, LJ. Really appreciate it, mate. You rock. And I'll be looking out for your email, mate. Yeah, sorry about that, PJ.
That's all right. No problems. Yeah, it's just the same. It's just the same all the time. It's the same crap. He's just he won't understand. He doesn't understand. He's being Kaleb. Well, basically, I think Kaleb slaughtered him.
Yeah, totally. Look, tonight Kaleb did really stupid things. Said.
Yeah,
but even though he's failed so miserably on doing that, he still whipped Craig's ass.
He did.
Even though he did bad.
He's definitely influenced by Witsit. I can hear it in him. It's even in some of his mannerisms, the way he talked in that, you know. Yeah. But yeah, he did well.
Exactly. Well, this lord thinks the ether exists, so.
Oh yeah. Okay. But in what way? Like, there's so many different.
Wait, what's the ether, Dislord?
Thoughts of it. There's so many different like definitions of ether, isn't there?
Hey, Prince Venom, what's up? Ryan, any your thoughts? I guess they can't talk right now.
Okay, Disc.
No, I'm here. Yeah, he does sound a lot like Witsit, very much. I was going to say it a couple times, but I didn't want to keep cutting in on you. Sorry about that.
You can see the influence, can't you? You can see the influence.
Yeah, I can hear it in his voice, just like you said. The tone of his voice, it sounds just like Witsit talking. It does, right through him. It's really creepy.
I'm glad you noticed it. I thought I might be the only one.
So
No, you're not the only one, bro. I totally see it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
But I think I want to talk to him. I like Kaleb actually.
Aye.
He reminds you, like I said, he reminds you of the Witsit before he got involved.
Yeah, when he first came around. Yeah, when he was pure. Well, at least I felt like he was.
Yeah.
Not that he's not still, but maybe I'm just misunderstanding what is going on with him. But he's been like, I don't know. It's just he's changed. I don't know. Maybe it's because he had a baby. Maybe it's a lot of things. I don't know.
Well, he is definitely.
I feel bad for him, at the same time, but I wish he would explain, or something. Because there's a lot of us that are curious.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've had our differences and things, but if he wants to patch things up, I'm more than happy to, Although, yeah. But yeah, it's like I said, he's definitely. I would like to talk to Kaleb about this whole ether thing, see why he thinks it's real and how his validity for this is, because where's the validation for the argument? You understand? Because maybe he's got something that I missed.
Well, maybe that's true. Maybe he's gone beyond what Witsit's talking about, and that's why it sounds like it, because that's where Witsit got his information. I don't know. We never know until we look into it, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, Rachie.
But I'm curious too.
Rachie asked, do you have something to spare 10 minutes or so? Not tonight, but we can make a time. Why don't you email me, Rachie, and then we can figure out a time to work on. I'm more than happy to help you out with whatever you need. Just let me know.
Can I just say to Luch, you deserve to be timed out. You should have been banned. Really, he called you a nobody, so Vicky timed him out. But don't be calling people nobodies. That's ridiculous.
Are you a nobody?
I didn't know that.
You're always watching, Luch. You know what I mean?
He loves coming onto the show.
Yeah, he's always watching, but you're a nobody. That's brilliant. Brilliant.
I see a body. I see a body sitting there on the
Well,
cam.
I think you're somebody.
See ya, guys.
We're somebody. We all are, right?
Okay, so guys, I gotta go.
Just play like 10 seconds of the Felicia Navidad melody there, just to get it. Yeah, you know.
I think I'll make the song definitely. Felicia is a twat.
Yeah,
Felicia is a twat.
I got the song on my head now. I can't get it out.
I'll do the backing singing if you want.
It's crazy, but yeah.
And a choir, and we sing with our most feminine voices as a choir in the background.
Cool. Okay, guys. So thank you all for coming. Really appreciate it. Appreciate all the likes and shares, guys. You guys rock. Do you guys want to do a part 3?
Yeah, might as well get it finished. There's no point in
Sure, why not?
I think we should do the whole lot. We've already started it, so finish it.
So we can do a part 3. That would be cool. Then I'll see you guys all tomorrow night for Craig. Craig finds unicorn poop.
I'm looking forward to it.
So I'll see you guys. Felicia finds unicorn poop. Sorry, it's not Craig. It's Felicia. So I'll see you guys all tomorrow night. Thank you very much for everything. Thank you for all the support. You guys rock, and much blessings, and may the pressure be with you. Till tomorrow. Cheers.